Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Tremaine here, and this is a continuation from my last video when I had my cousin on there, Private Williams. This video is basically just going to discuss this past weekend's drill, Saturday and Sunday. So of course, Saturday, it was pouring down rain, and we had to report and be in formation at 0700. When I say it was hot inside that armory, believe me y'all, it was hot. It's like, even with that big pull-up door, drop door, whatever you want to call it, even with it up, it's like no circulation whatsoever was coming through. And at the time we were in our PT uniform, so it was hot, but it wasn't as bad. So we tried our best to stick with it, but you know, of course, the main thing is stay hydrated. So it was well hydrated. So what we did was, after we got information and everything, and there was, of course, you know, there's a new red phase. Welcome to all those, the new red phase. So we got information, and then we marched from the armory down to the park. Oh shoot. Sorry y'all, I'm driving. I'm not used to these new arrows out here. Alright, so what we did was we marched from the armory down to the park, which is what we did last month as well. And then once we got there, we got into formation, and then we split up and we did exercises. Wait, no, correction. Scratch all that. This was Saturday. Saturday, what we did was we actually stayed in the armory because it was pouring down rain. So what we did was we broke up into formations, like we got it in all ranks, all in squads, split up as far as possible. And then we did our exercises, our PT exercises inside the armory. We did several of them. After that, we changed into our ACUs. Now mind you, there's like about 50, 60, 70 of us in there, all changing, you know, trying to change at one time. Of course, you know, males went to the male latrine, females went to the female latrine, and I think there was only like 2 or 3 latrines per. So we just had to do what we could, you know. But I mean, we did it. It was hot in there, you know, I'm not gonna lie. It's like everybody all sweaty from PT and then going into the latrines. And of course, you know, when a place is left untouched for so long, it's cool in there, but as people start going in, that body heat is just atrocious. So once we do that, we get into our back into formation, and then we march to Tiger's Den. Tiger's Den is where, you know, we hold meetings, hold classes, all that fun stuff. So we went there. We had several classes. First aid, CPR, how to treat burns, you know, basic like survival tips when you're out there. It's pretty interesting. I enjoyed it because no matter how many times you get told something, you're always going to learn something new all the time, you know, because it's repetitive. And, you know, maybe they'll go over like the steps to doing this or the steps to doing that, and at the time, let's say you're in combat or something and you don't have all the resources that, you know, that comes with, like, let's say you get a kit, but you don't have all the resources that comes with inside your kit because you either use them already or you just have to find something else to do. So other people were giving, like, you know, their different stories of what they did with either a burn or a cut or a broken leg or something, you know, when they were on a tour somewhere and they had to utilize their resources. So it was pretty interesting. The sergeants that were there were pretty cool. You know, they got us engaged with everything. You know, they told their personal stories. They asked us if we had any stories, you know, about anything. You know, they made it interesting because, you know, when you're sitting down in the class for hours at a time and you're already tired because it's early in the morning and you're just bobbing for apples and you don't want to, you know, be seen falling asleep because, of course, you know, they're gonna smoke you, which several people did get smoked for falling asleep, so I didn't, thankfully. What else? So that was Saturday. That was Saturday morning, probably like the first 2 hours. After that, we went back to the armory, like we marched back to the armory, and then we got back in formation, and then they did, you know, several promotions. So we did like promotions for recruitment. Some people got promotions for, you know, most improved. Some people got their promotions for, you know, whatever that they did, you know, that they recognized them. And they recognized recruiters also for doing recruitment since last drill. I was recognized again for having the most runs or most miles logged in since our last drill. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm gonna have to check that up myself. I believe I had 44 miles or 46 miles since last drill. And I told y'all about this before, that we have like a Runkeeper app, and basically what the Runkeeper app is, it logs like your miles, your exercises, your jogs, all that, and you can enter it manually also. And it's basically, it's a competition, but it's also motivation for us to train ourselves for whenever we go to basic, we won't be over there looking like, you know, somebody upstream without a paddle, you know. So I enjoy the Runkeeper app, the exercise and everything that, you know, I do. And my people ask me like, how do I do it? How do I do it? I don't think they realize that, you know, you have to have self-control, self-motivation, and by seeing other people doing it, that, you know, gets you going. Because there's somebody on our Runkeeper, but he's not with our RSP, but, you know, he helps out. His name is Sergeant Nolan, Reggie Nolan, and he every morning he like exercises, works out, does his runs, and he be logging in like, you know, 10 miles a day. And I'm like, man, how does he do this? How did, you know, and all that. Like before I wake up in the morning, he done logged his 10 miles already for the day, and I'm like, man, but we only have to do 10 miles for the week, and he done logged in 10 miles already. So I utilize that as my motivation. Like, okay, if he can do this, now, I mean, he's already been exercising, he's a trainer and all this stuff. He does this every day. But I take him and look at him like he's a motivation, like motivator. If he can get up in the morning and do these 10 miles with no problem, I know I can get up and do it. I may not be able to complete 10 miles in one day or one morning, but I know that if he's getting up to do it, then I should get up to do it. So what I do is I try to do at least more than a mile, because I feel like if I do a mile, that's like weak. That's literally weak. But I mean, if 1 mile is all I can do, then so be it. But I like to do at least 2 miles or more a day. And I calculated precisely. If I go from my house from my mom's house down the street, around the corner, and there's a big old field, like a sugarcane field next door. If I take that whole field from the front to the back, that whole field is 1.5 miles. And then I take that back road, that's about 0.5 mile. And then I take that other road from back to front, back to my mom's house. That is 4.01 miles. So that's like perfect. So I know if I do that, I will literally have at least 4 miles for one day. And in the Runkeeper app, our minimum for the week is 10 miles. So by me completing that, I can knock my stuff out in like 2 days, you know, 4 today, 4 tomorrow, and then 2 the next day. There's my 10, signed, sealed, and delivered, you know. So there's no, whenever somebody says, oh, I can't do it, yeah, you can do it. You literally can do it. Even if you're just jogging or walking, you know. I understand whenever it comes time to go to basic, you're gonna be running. But if all you can do now is walk, then walk. If you can jog, then jog, you know. but just increase your time. I mean, decrease your time, but increase your speed. That's the main goal. So what else? After they did promotions and handoffs, oh, also I did, when they recognized me, you know, I had to go to the front, and this time, I did not make the mistake and say, "Coming, sir." I actually said, "Coming, sergeant." So that was good, and they recognized me, got a hand clap and all this. I received it was a book sack, a backpack, not big National Guard backpack. If y'all want to see it, it'll be posted on my Instagram later on, or you probably can check it right now. It's my Instagram name is at TremaineRossyon. That is at TREMAINE.ROSSYION. And I'm also going to put it down here in the description area. So that was that, you know, the end of that. So after we did that, we finally had lunch, and y'all, I don't know what it was, who was the cook that day, but you know, the food was good. It was seasoned real good, but I don't think those burgers were cooked all the way, because it's like when you bit into it, it was still red, but it's like, you know how when you get ground meat and you cook it, but the outside is cooking and it's still red in the middle, but it's like that. I don't even know how to explain, but it wasn't cooked. I mean, I still ate it. It was good. It was good. Like, it was really seasoned really good. Seasoned real good. But I don't know. It was still good. But a lot of people were talking about it and this and that. After we ate, we went back into the armory, and then I was just chilling. Now, I can say this: since enlisting, I've met people, you know, and I'm open up and talking more. And like I said in previous videos, you know, in the beginning, it's just like, you know, when you're going somewhere new and you're meeting new people, at the beginning you don't talk because you don't know anybody, and you do make talk, but sometimes you don't know what to say, so you just sit around and wait, you know, either for others to talk, or you in a discussion and y'all just start talking like that. Well, there's a few people that I started talking to. So one of my battle buddies, we were talking, and then we had went to Red Phase, and I was talking with a few people in Red Phase, because like I told y'all, my cousin, he enlisted a few weeks ago, and this was his first drill as well. And if y'all watched the previous video, he's on there, Private Williams. So I was talking to him, and then my battle buddy came, and he was like, "Hey, you want to go talk to, you know, our battle over here in Red Phase?" Because he seems like he was just, you know, sitting down and didn't know what to do. So I said, "Yeah, let's go." And I felt that, you know, that was good, because he took the initiative to say, okay, this person is over here sitting by himself. Let's go welcome him, you know, to the team, to, you know, armory, to us, to the military. Because I know how it is when, you know, you're just sitting there and you really don't know nobody, don't have nobody to talk to. And from the way it looks, you know, he was like just waiting, like, okay, let's do something because I'm bored right now, you know. So we went by him. His name was Private Lee, and spoke with Private Lee for, you know, a good little while. He's from Vietnam. I think he said he's been out here for at least 2.5, 3 years. Yeah, he just graduated from high school, but he said he's enjoying it, and, you know, that was it. I mean, we just kept on talking, you know, just basically getting to know each other, you know, and everything like that, because I don't want him to feel uncomfortable. And I told him that if he have any questions, you know, he can ask, or, you know, if I don't know the answer, I'll find out the answer for him. So that was that. So after we did that, we got back in formation, we marched, we went back to the Tiger's Den, we did a few more classes. This time it was like hands-on, where we performed the CPR. We actually did scenarios where people our battles, they each were split up into groups, and they were given a scenario and a patient, and the patient had to pretend they were like on the battlefield and they were hurt, and either hurt or passing out or coughing or something to that nature, and the battle buddy had to figure out how to save them, or how would you perform a procedure to keep them alive, or restrain them or, you know, any way like that. So that was good. And then at the end, we went through everything and see who did what correctly. And then if it was done correctly, they were recognized and received, you know, a reward. And they all did great, but some people did, you know, better than others, of course. So that was a good little hands-on visual experience. After that, we got back in formation. We marched back to the armory, and then everybody got their phones out. Finally, the one time we get to use our phones, we got our phones out, and once they did, everybody was like, selfie this, selfie that, snap, update, check their phone, yada yada yada. But the main goal for having our phones was to make sure everybody was on the Runkeeper app to be sure that their miles were logged in appropriately. And then after that, we got back in formation and we were dismissed. So after that, here comes Sunday. Good old Sunday. We had to report there for 0700. Of course, y'all know me. I'm there. I'm not late. I'm never late. Well, let me not say I'm never late. I wasn't late, but I was on time. I want to say I got there at 06:55. Still made it into formation, but there was people that came after me, and they, you know, they were late. But anyway, so once we did that, we showed up in our PT uniforms. We got into formation, and then this is the time where we marched to the park down the street. We marched to the park. We did our cadences here and there. Red phase stayed behind because they still had like some classes and stuff to do. So it was white phase, green phase. You know, we marched to the park. Once we got to the park, we did our PTs. I mean, we did our training. I mean, our exercises. Once we did our exercises, we went. I got hydrated, and then we went to like a designated location. We didn't go to the top of the hill this time because of the fact that, I don't know, I just know we didn't go to the top of the hill. We started at the bottom. So from there, we had to run our 2-mile run, the moment we've been waiting for. So we started a 2-mile run, and we had to do is run from that spot down the way, all the way down to the bridge, come back, make a loop, go back, come back, make 2 loops. No, make 1 loop, and then we were done, and it was 2 miles. Now, last month I told y'all my goal and my, you know, my run when I run is slow and steady and win the race. Well, yes, that was good. Slow and steady and win the race and get your time down. Well, last month when I did it, my time was 25 minutes. Okay, that was all right. First time, it was okay. It was bad, but hey, I completed it. So my goal since last month to this month was to increase my speed and decrease my time. Now, I can say this, I pat myself on the back, because after completing my 2 miles, my time was 17:05, 17 minutes and 5 seconds. So I completed my 2-mile run in 17 minutes and 5 seconds. Now, with my age group, that was good. You know, I think my minimum was like 17 minutes. So I brought my time down like just a little bit over 8 minutes, which was good for me. And at 30 years old, the time frame, like I said, is 17 minutes. I mean, there were some people that did theirs in like 12 and, you know, all that stuff. But hey, I'm happy and I'm proud of myself because I went from 25 to 17 minutes and do my 2-mile run. And it probably would have been a little faster than that, but I did stop twice and walked like for like 5 seconds, and then I started back running again, and then I kind of slowed down in some areas because I was getting a little tired and my knee was starting to hurt. And if y'all watched the videos before, I think I said that my left knee was giving me some problems. So that was that. And then after we did our little 2-mile run, we got back in formation, and then we marched back to the armory. We changed into our ACUs, and then We went back to the classrooms. We did a few class sessions there. We had like question and answer. We had to, ask the sergeants. We also had a part where those that just came back from basic, we was able to ask them questions and, different things, what to expect and what not to expect and yada, 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 things like that. And then we had lunch, and after lunch, which the food was really good this time. This time we had, it was like it was pork steaks or something like that. All I gotta say, it was good. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, the rice was a little hard, but hey, once you mix that all in, it was good. And then they were giving like seconds, and I was like, I can't fit no seconds. And then after that, we went back to the armory, back inside the armory, and then we were just chilling, sitting down, and all that stuff. Now I can tell y'all this: on Sunday, remember earlier I told y'all that the private lead, the one that I met that was in red phase, how he was sitting down to himself. I kid you not, Sunday he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" It's like he was like a little more open, he was a little more comfortable, and all it takes, y'all, is just that one person to walk up to somebody and meet them, introduce yourself to them, so they can at least know that there's somebody here that I know that I can go talk to. You know what I mean? So I was happy for that he did that, and that he was a little more open and everything. And another thing about like being in formation and being in red phase, and I know I just got enlisted like a little over 2 months ago, but actually it's gonna be 3 months on the 7th since I enlisted. But the main thing that I learned is always sound off, for one. When you're talking to somebody higher ranking, make sure you stand at ease. Always show respect, put respect on people's name, and again, sound off. Sound off. Once we finished and eat, we were in armory hall, just relaxing and all this stuff, and I think that was it. Like, we got up. Oh, they did battle off. So those that were leaving the armory and going to their respective units, they called them up to the front, and then they went on and did their battle off. They received their award, their medals, and all this stuff from RSP. And next drill, they won't be there. They're going to their unit. But we're gonna have a whole new phase. I'll still be white phase because I haven't been to basic yet. So, and I don't leave for basic until August 21st, which is like a little over 2 months away. So that was it. Then we got back in formation, or we was in formation already, but we were dismissed. Oh, one thing I forgot, we did. Sergeant LaCroix is no longer, our NCO RSP leader. He's no longer there. Somebody else took his spot, but he was still there at RSP. He's not leaving, I guess, like permanently until the last person he recruited or signed up goes and graduates from basic. But there was 2 new guys. There was Sergeant Thompson, and there was someone else, but I cannot remember his name. I'd have to get it somewhere. But we welcomed them with open arms as always. It was pretty fun. And then after that, we were dismissed and we went home, and that was the end of my drill weekend. It's getting better, and I'm still happy that I made the decision that I made. No regrets. And I'm happy to continue my journey. And just make sure you stay tuned until the next video. If you have any questions, comments, anything, no question is stupid, feel free to like, share, comment, click that little heart so you can get the notifications. Anything, share it. Anything you ask for. And be sure to hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And that's it. Until next time, peace out. Hooah.